often that syncs up. I feel like it does throw me just a little bit, but this time because I wasn't paying attention, I don't know. I feel like it just wasn't really a thing. Maybe I'll feel it more so tomorrow, but so far so good. All right, we're at the top. We can go ahead and get this kicked off, everyone. Thanks so much for coming in and for showing up today for the Real Estate 101 session. I am here with the amazing Jerome Lewis. He's our special guest speaker for today. Before we kick this off, though, I want to go through just a couple quick housekeeping items for everyone here as reminders. Please make sure that you have your microphones on mute while Jerome is speaking. It's usually automatically turned off when you come into the world, but just do a double check, make sure it's not green. Sometimes if it does come on, there can be some reverb and some echo and things that happen on the tech side. So just make sure that it shows up as red with that red line through it at the bottom left. And then towards the end of the session, there will probably be some time for some Q&A, and Jerome will direct you to open up your mics at that time. But throughout the course today, please keep those on mute. You're welcome to ask questions throughout the chats. I'll be here helping out with moderating those. So feel free. And I know Jerome loves the engagement. Any questions that ask, just make sure that you are, responding there in the chats and watching that there. If you're ever having an issue with the presentation screen, it's helpful to go ahead and do a refresh on it. So what looks like to me, if I'm looking at the middle screen here in the world, there's a blue screen. And if you're not seeing that, you're going to want to click the refresh wheel at the top right-hand corner. What looks to me like a recycling icon. That should reset it for you. You should see Real Estate 101 with some different images right there. And then I always like to do the screen zoom as well. At the very top of the screen, there's a screen zoom button that will make that whole screen in full screen mode, and you should be good to go. If you're ever having an audio issue, I like to try doing what's called a reinitialize voice. So real quick, take a look at the top right hand corner. What is the settings wheels? If you click that, and then there's the reinitialize voice towards the bottom there, that should fix it. If you find that the trouble is just for you and you're having an issue with the sound. If it still persists after that, I always like to recommend that you leave the world, just X out of it, log back in, and that should set you up. Yep, I think we're good to go on the housekeeping. Jerome, are all systems go on your end?
All systems go here.
Cool. Take it away.
Thank you. I really appreciate you. So welcome everybody. Welcome to Real Estate 101. And I visit this class pretty often. Come get some training for my business. We have this session every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Here's what we're going to do. Like Alex mentioned, I love engagement, so I like to hold the audience hostage a little bit. I'm going to call on you sometimes to move forward, and I'm going to start now. The way I do that is you should be able to see the screen, and you should see bright blue, and you should see Real Estate 101. So what I need from you is I need you to type yes in the chat if you can see that screen so we can proceed. And I need at least 50% engagement in order to proceed. Oh, I like this. I like it. Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. So here's what we're going to do, right? I'm going to call on you for something else, right? So I had two presentations and I kind of switched this. Alex might get me. I kind of switched this, right? And I was going to do introduction to video marketing, but we've done that presentation. So I teach one of the other classes here in EXP World, and we've done that presentation several times. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to call on you to vote, and I want to know if you want to learn about video marketing, like an introduction to video marketing, or if you want to do like a mini workshop around content creation. And that mini workshop is going to teach you how you can come up with all of the content you need for like the entire next year. Then we're going to combine it all together, and we should never run out of content ideas. So what I need you to vote on is if you want video marketing, type video in the chat box. If you want content marketing, type content in the chat box for me. So I need at least 50% engagement. Content is winning. Perfect. Because I wanted content. So I expected everyone to see content. When I taught this class before, people really appreciate this class, and it's going to be a workshop. So I'm going to need you to be prepared to do a little bit of work. And sometimes I know everybody can't move at the same pace. Some people will get lost along the way, and that's okay. But I still want you to try to follow along and proceed, because when I get into the presentation, you're going to learn, like, one of the best ways that you learn is to actually participate, right? In addition to that, just because you can't make the end, like if you can't follow along the entire way, at least you made some progress and we can go along and figure it out. So let's get into my presentation. Again, I'm going to call on you. If you can see my screen, type yes, and we'll proceed. Okay, perfect. So the way my presentations work is on the screen, right? You see like a few things, but I'm moving my mouse. It might be a little bit tough to see, but down here, that is a link, right? And during my presentation, right, because sometimes you can't teach everything that we need to learn in an hour. Sometimes 2 hours is not enough. Sometimes even 4 or 5 hours is not enough. So what I like to do is I like to add resources into my slides and my presentations. So this slide, when we're going through this presentation, it will be a lot of resources in there for you. And this link right here, that's a link resource. And in this case, most of us know what this is. This is the EXP calendar. So if you click on that, that would take you out to the EXP calendar. But furthermore, when we get into the presentation, there are going to be other links and other resources that can really help you with this strategy and really help you in your business, right? All right, so this presentation, see, I was ready. I knew we would vote for the content creation strategy. I was ready. I knew people would like that. I've taught it before in the social media mastermind. I'm going to tell you a little bit about that in further down. But I call this the content frustration elimination, because this strategy helps us develop basically unlimited real estate content. And the power that we have here at EXP is we can all combine our ideas together and make it even more powerful, right? So we're going to do that. And again, this is going to be a workshop. So we're going to be doing some work today, and we're going to be relying on each other and putting our heads together and collaborating. So remember the class I was telling you about, the social media mastermind. We have that class every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. We teach a ton of subjects and hosts around social media digital marketing, right? So you can level up your real estate business. That class is hosted here in EXP World in the Productivity Center, right? And that's a link just to the calendar. All right, so who is this guy? This is me. I just want to introduce myself as your host. My name is Jerome Lewis. I'm from the Philadelphia area. A little bit about me. I'm silly, but I'm also serious, and I identify with the millennial crowd. I'm a millennial, and I'm a proud millennial. I'm also pretty good with technology, so that means I like to take technology that's overcomplicated and simplify it for you, right? Because a lot of times technology can be overwhelming. I understand we're a tech company, but still sometimes technology moves so fast, we got to figure this stuff out. So I like to take this technology and slow it down for us a little bit. Now, next, I just like to share this because people don't I like to share this so people can understand that you don't have to be some amazing extrovert to have success in your business, right? So I've been an introvert all my life. I still am an introvert. So I just want you to understand you don't have to be some amazing outgoing person to have success in this business, right? This is one of the reasons why I enjoy content creation, video marketing, because it fits our personalities. This is my story. A little bit about me, right? We talk about this in the behavioral assessment a lot here in EXP, and I just love like personality assessments, behavior assessments. My DISC assessment reports that I'm a high D and I'm a high C, and if you combine those two, that makes me an implementer. So I'm very results oriented and I'm very detailed. That means I like to help you get results, and I'm very detailed in helping you get those results. I am a real estate agent, but I'm primarily a real estate investor, so I like to buy properties, right? A lot of these things cross, they interchange. And you know by now, I'm a real estate instructor for the social media mastermind here that we have every week. It's one of my favorite classes. They've taught me a lot, right? It's a mastermind. We all learn from each other. I'm the host, and sometimes I bring in experts that are better than me. Sometimes I help. It's just a wonderful mastermind for you to attend, and you can find out more about that by visiting the calendar. Now, if you want to learn a little bit more about me, like personally, I do have a personal website. It's jeromelewis.com. Just a little bit about me, my family, what I like to do, hobbies, etc. All right. So to talk a little bit further about the social media mastermind, we have a rotating schedule. And the way that schedule works is it works like this, right? Every week we have 4 to 5 weeks, and each week we address a specific point around social media. And sometimes these change and sometimes they stay the same, right? So an example, Facebook marketing. Anytime we have week one, we do Facebook marketing. So last Thursday was the first week, and we went over how to come up with a budget using Facebook, right? That was our class and our structure for the first week. Week two, we usually do some strategy around Instagram for real estate, right? And we bring in Paula Ponte. She teaches you how she's generating business using Instagram in her business, and she's bringing another expert. She's bringing in Loida. So we like to bring in people around those specific subjects, right? Week three, we talk about Google Ads and just Google overall to generate business using Google. And we have a special guest come in, Kyrie Harper. He teaches us how to use Google. Week four, we do YouTube and video marketing. And then week five, whenever there's a week five, we do open questions and answers or open workshop. All right, so are we ready to proceed? I need to make sure the audience is paying attention. I need to make sure you're there. I need you to type yes in the chat if we're ready to proceed. Thank you. Thank you, team. I really appreciate you. I see Alex there. She can tell you I need that engagement. I needs it, right? So, these are some tips for you to get the most out of this training, right? What you see here, remember, when I do my presentations, I have like resources available for you, right? I'm going to tell you how you can get access to the slides, and you can take advantage of these resources. So whenever you see like this camera, right? This is an emoji. Whenever you see this camera icon, that's an icon that you should maybe take a screenshot of that particular slide, right? And then again, whenever you see in combination, when you see the link, that's a link to a resource. But when you see a link in a video, that's a link to a video resources. And you'll see a few of those in the presentation as well. The number one tip I want to address here is I want you to be engaged, and I want you to involve yourself, because we learn better that way when we involve and when we engage. So please do not hesitate to engage, ask questions, talk to your colleagues, talk to the instructor, talk to Alex. Doesn't matter, right? Now, a couple of resources I want to give you so you don't have to wait long. I have a YouTube page where I share a lot of these things. A lot of these strategies I share. So I'm going to share in the chat the YouTube channel. I have some of this stuff there. So that's the YouTube channel for you to follow. Next, we have, and I'm going to, towards the end or when the time is right, I'm going to call on Alex, and she's going to tell you how you can copy the chat, so you can take a lot of these resources with you too and have some notes. Next, what I have for you is I have a Facebook group, right? We have a Facebook group where we mastermind. It's kind of a child of the social media mastermind class, and we're trying to bring you content there other than just the 2 p.m. Eastern time that we're doing. So I'm going to share a link to that Facebook group, and you can join that group and get some of that content as well. All right. All right. Content creation, frustration, elimination. This was like a little corny phrase, because we like corny phrases, right? As humans, oh, that's so memorable. It's so corny. So I came up with this title, and the basis of it is we're going to learn, or we're going to implement how to come up with unlimited content ideas, right? That's what we're going to do today. And it's going to be, again, this is not going to be a straight lecture, right? We're going to actually do a workshop. So we're going to try to walk through coming up with a list of content ideas that we can all share and use in our business. So a lot of times, right, I get a lot of feedback from the audience and the students that come to our social media mastermind. And these are just some of the questions that people have. What should I talk about? Why should I talk about it? And where can I get these ideas that I should be talking about? How can I know what other people are talking about? Who here has ever had questions like that? Who can relate to that? Type in the chat. I need at least 50% engagement. Perfect. I'm glad to see that, because we are going to address that, and I think you're in for a treat again. Right, like I move a little bit fast, so sometimes some of the feedback I get is, Jerome, there was a lot of information, you moved a little bit fast. So I'm gonna try to slow down and make sure we leave and we have something practical. So bear with me, it's going to be a workshop, it should be fun. And if we have any questions or we get stuck or anything like that, just let me know and we'll try to figure this out. Right, I'm going to try to make sure everybody's happy. It's kind of hard to please multiple people at once, but I'm going to do my best to do that. Right. All right, so remember I said everybody might not be able to follow along and some people might get lost along the way. That's okay. Like, our objective is to go through the process and start to get familiar with some of this stuff. So these are some of our previous content creation classes or strategies. We've done this before, and these are some links, some video resources that can walk you through just in case you get a little bit lost today, or maybe you want to implement another strategy. These are some resources for you to access. And again, I'm going to tell you how you can get access to the slides towards the end of the presentation. All right, next, who should use content marketing? You, right? Everybody here, we should all be using some form of content marketing because it's highly important, right? And one of the things that we talk about often in our social media mastermind class is there's no other you, right? So if you get out there and you create content, like I'm a huge advocate for video content. And one of the reasons why is because there's no other you. You can't duplicate yourself. No matter what you try to do, there's only one you, one unique you. So if you combine that unique you with some of this content, like your content is unique, right? You, right? So you, who else should use it? Agents and investors. That's you. Everybody here that's in the real estate business, we should be using content marketing in some form or fashion. Other people that should use it, business owners, right? Because we're marketing. We want to bring some leads and some traffic to our business. All right, so what is content marketing? This is a definition that I pulled from the internet. So content marketing is a marketing technique of creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content, right? So there's a key word there, consistent content. If you want to bring in business, you need to be consistent. Consistent content to attract and acquire a clearly defined audience. That's also vital. Clearly defined. We want to address a specific audience, right? A lot of times we get into marketing and we think we can market to everybody, and that's not the case. We want to address a specific audience, right? We want to have an avatar. We want to focus in on a specific house, maybe a specific type of house, maybe a specific type of family, maybe a specific type of market. We want to have a defined audience, right? So let me start over. Let me read this again. A content marketing is a marketing technique of creating and distributing valuable, relevant, and consistent content to attract and acquire a clearly defined audience with the objective of driving profitable customer action. All right. So what content marketing is used for, right? Some use cases. You can use content marketing for blogs, right? This is one of my favorite ways, blogs. You can use it for emails, right? You can use it for advertising. You can use it for social media. And then my favorite of all is videos and vlogs, right? So you can use all of this stuff in each form and all of this stuff here. And there's even more, but these are just some of the use cases that I picked out. Some of the most common: blogs, emails, ads, social media, video marketing. Now, why content marketing? Because content marketing educates, right? We're here to serve a client and a fan base, right? Yeah, we're here to get business, but how do we get business? We get business by providing value to people. And one of the ways we do that is we provide them with education, right? We educate them on subject matters, right? We're real estate experts. We know a little bit more than the typical public. So we can educate these people with content marketing, right? It provides value to others. It helps you stand out because not a lot of people are doing this content marketing. And we talked about unique content before, but when you get into content marketing, you can turn that content into what you want. It's unique and it helps you stand out a little bit more. It also attracts more business to you. All right, so where do you get content? These are just some places where you can get content and develop content, right? Search engines. You can ask your audience, hey, what do you want to learn about? You can model other creators. And then today we're going to get into answer forums. So this is a link, and this is a link to some popular answer forums where you can address topics around, where you can create content around topics that are relevant to bring traffic and customers to your business. This is one of the previous content docs that we created in the social media mastermind. So this is a link to it. So even if you can't like develop or create your content today, if you collect the slides, if you're paying attention towards the end, you have a document to start with. All right, so where to get content, right? These are some other places for you to get content. And a lot of times we here as EXP agents, we forget the abundance of resources that we have available. So one of the first places that we want to consider for content is the EXP Marketing Center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this link and put it in there just in case. So we should all know how to get to the Marketing Center, but I'm putting the Marketing Center here in the chat for you because at the end, we're going to collect this chat box and it's going to be full of rich content for us to create and have for our business, right? So do not, as EXP agents, do not forget about the Marketing Center. There is a ton of content there for you. Search engines, right? So I don't know, we might have enough time for us to get into the search engines. I'm not exactly sure, but this is another place where you get content, right? People are searching for very specific things and you can pull that content from the search engines. Question forums, we talked about it on the previous slide, but that's another place where you get content. Current trends, so this is a link to Google Trends and you can click on there and find out what people are searching for and looking for, what's trendy right now, and you can address questions around that specific content. All right, so here's what we're going to do. Enough of me talking. We're about to get into our workshop. So what I'm going to need from you, what I'm going to need from most of us here is you are going to need to be on your computer, and most of us should already be on the computer. We're going to use a couple of tools, a couple of resources, and we're going to create this content, right? This is what we're going to do. So I want to lean on the audience. When you are, what I need you to do is need you to log into Google. So log into Google, and when you're ready to proceed, type yes for me, and then we'll get ready to create this content that we're talking about. So, okay. And here's what we're going to do. I understand that some of us might move a little bit slow, but as long as we get 50% engagement, we're just going to proceed. So, let me see. I don't have enough yeses in there. Let's see. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Soon as we get to 50, we're going to move on. Okay, perfect. So as long as you're logged into Google, right? Let's see. We're going to do some content. We're going to create some content, right? And when you're logged into Google, here's what I want you to do, right? Google has a ton of free resources. I love Google because their resources are free, and a lot of it is cloud-based. So the first thing that we're going to do is what I'm doing is I have two screens. You can see two screens. You see where my presentation was, right? And then you see where you see Google, right? And I'm going to zoom in on Google a little bit. What we're going to do today is we're going to log into Google Sheets. So as long as you're logged into Google, what you can do is you can click on these icons up here and you can find Google Sheets. So log into your Google, click on this icon up here, and then find Google Sheets. And when you're ready to proceed, type yes for me. So Google Sheets is the green button here. Perfect. Thank you for participating. I appreciate the people that are typing and helping this move forward. Thank you so much. All right, so we got our Google Sheets open, right? I want you to keep that open. And then next on the right, what we're going to do is we're going to open up another window. And again, we be very patient and let's move a little bit slow because this website we're about to visit is it's very sensitive. So I don't want you to proceed or do anything until I say so, until I confirm this. The website is sensitive. We're about to type in like a search and we're only allowed like 2 or 3 searches or something like that. So be very cautious. Try not to type or mess around with the website until I say so. So the name of the website is, let's see, and I'm going to put a link in the chat for you. So the name of this website is called Answer the Public, and I want to put a link in the chat for you. And when you have visited a website, do me a favor and type yes in the chat. Pull it up and you should see what's like something very similar to what's on my screen on the right, like over here. You should have a screen just like that. And what this tool does is it pulls questions from around the internet that people are asking. It's going to pull those questions, and we're going to develop a list of those questions, right? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to visit that site. Yes, yes, yes. I don't see 50%. Okay, there we go. We're moving. Now, so let me take the risk. This website is very, again, like I said, it's very sensitive. So I believe you're only allowed 1 or 2 searches for this website, right? And what we're going to do is I'm going to type in real estate, and I don't want you to do this yet. I just want you to watch me go through the process, and maybe this is what you do, right? I have to test it out. All right, so what I've done, and I'm going to make this bigger for you, is I typed in real estate as the keyword, right? And the way this site works is it takes your keyword, and you have to be like, the more narrow your keyword can be, or your keyword phrase, right? In this case, my keyword is real estate. The more narrow it can be, the better, right? The better it is. So real estate was the keyword that I used, right? But let's open up a new window. Let's do that site again. And just so you can see like the demonstration. So right there, I typed in just plain real estate is what I typed in. Next, I can be even more specific. I can type in, because my market is Philadelphia. I can type in Philadelphia real estate, and I can get a very similar search query, right? And it's going to pull up. And when we're visiting this site, if I go back over to my original search right here, right? So this is where we're talking about like the unlimited content right here. This website has given me 80 questions around that particular subject. So it's giving me 80 questions around real estate that people are asking around the internet. And a lot of it does come from Google. So people are asking these very specific questions around real estate. And this is our content that we're going to address, right? So that's part 1, figuring out where to get this content and finding out if it's relevant. So yes, it's relevant because it's coming from Google, and now we figured out where to get this from, right? We're using this tool. So let's see. Real estate. So we typed in real estate. I'm trying to think of what are some other phrases. I'm going to call on the audience for participation. Before you type in, right, I want you to get ideas from other people so you don't waste your searches. So what are some other ideas or some other topics around real estate? Buying a house, selling a house, moving to a certain area. Like, type some ideas in so we all have some ideas that we can type in and learn around our specific topics. Right? So I need at least 50% of people to type in like some basic phrases. So let me see. Relocating. That's a good one. Buying a house. Credit is a good one. Right? Mortgage. Buying versus selling. So these are all like pretty decent phrases, right? And the more narrow, the better, right? So these are all pretty decent phrases that we can kind of come up with and place it in this tool. So let's pick one, and if you can't think of any or you're not comfortable with any, just type in real estate like I did. It's a little bit generic, but we can fancy it up and change it once we pull and download the data, right? So here's what we're going to do. One of the reasons why I like this tool is because it's very efficient. I'm all about efficiency. How can we do something fast, as fast as possible? Let's be efficient. So my audience, are we ready to proceed? Who type yes in the chat if you're ready to proceed. Market crash. I like market crash. That's a really good one that I would have never thought about. Okay. So everyone that's ready, type in one of those phrases. And if you don't know exactly what to type in, just do what I did and type real estate, because that's generic enough. And it gave us 80 questions around real estate that we can address. And once you type in your phrase, type yes. Or type ready to proceed once you're finished your phrase, and you get the query like you see on my screen. Larissa, that's okay. Just do regular real estate, and then we can always add Cincinnati to it in the beginning or towards the end. There are some tricks I can show you. Like, as an example, Larissa, if I go over, so remember when I typed in Philadelphia real estate, they only gave me 25 questions. However, what we're going to do here is we're all collaborating. So what I could do is I can download my data, and when we build out our worksheet, you can just find and replace Philadelphia with Cincinnati. And that's our objective today, to combine everything so everybody has enough content, because some people aren't going to have the best results, or we're going to create like a master list of all of these content, all of this content, all of these questions, right? So who's ready to proceed? I need at least 50%. Type ready to proceed. Yeah, it's a limited number of searches, but the cool thing is we have collaboration. We can all lean on each other, and the searches reset every day. So you could come in and you can do like 2 searches per day. We won't need to use this every day. We'll probably only need to use it once a week. Okay, so ready to proceed. All right, 36. Yep, financing a home. 36 questions. Lori. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Right now that we have our queries typed in, right, I have 2 up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to just my generic one, because it posed 80 questions, and that's a lot of questions. I want to get as much data as I can. So once we do that, we're going to go here, right? There is a icon that should be on your computer right there where I'm hovering. Can you see this where I'm hovering? It says download CSV. Okay, I need, who can see this? I need at least 50%. Tell me if you can see it. And Stephanie, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. You got me. I appreciate that so much. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to download this CSV to our computer. So press download, and it should download to your computer somewhere, right? And sometimes people get lost. They don't know where the file downloads. We're all on different systems, but try to pay attention to where the file is going to download. So in my case, it's going to download to my downloads folder. I'm just going to download it there, right? I'm going to download that file there, and then I'm going to open it up. But before I go and open it up, I jumped ahead a little bit. I just want you to get a visual of some of the data and information that this site has given us, right? So remember, I talked about 80 questions, but it gives us prepositions, it gives us comparisons, it gives us what they call alphabeticals, and then it even gives us some related content. So this file is not only going to download this 80 questions, it's going to download all of this information as well. And we save a lot of time by not having to search and ask for these questions. But you can see it's here in a wheel. It's can real estate be a side job? Can real estate make you a billionaire? And some of it might be relevant to what you're trying to address. Some of it may not. But it's specific to real estate, right? It's specific to the query that I typed in. Real estate versus gold. Like, these are all topics, right, that this is bringing up for us. And people are searching for these things. It's pulling information from Google and other popular forums. This is all of the data. We can create content around all of this data. All of this data. Right? So really quickly, I know, well, no, I think I only get 2 searches, so I'm going to chill on that. But we downloaded our CSV, and now the magic is going to happen. This is where we're going to collaborate, and we're going to slow down a little bit, right? So now that we downloaded that CSV, remember that Google Sheet document that we opened up? We are going to import our CSV file into that Google Sheet. So I'm going to call on my audience so I can slow down and make sure we're all proceeding. If you're ready to proceed, type yes. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Okay, so what we're going to do is, now that we have our file downloaded, we're going to go over to our Google Sheets window, and we're going to start a blank sheet. So it's looking like this. It's got some of my old files, some of my recent files. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to open up a blank sheet. So I'm just going to left click on blank, and it should take me to a brand new Google Sheet with nothing in there. Nothing in there. So my sheet should be blank. And so I want you to do the same thing. And when you've done that, type ready in the chat so we can get ready to import this file into this Google Sheet. Okay, so now this first step is highly important. This is going to help us collaborate. This is what's going to help us collaborate and share data with each other. So inside of the Google spreadsheet, there is a button, this green button up here. Can you all see this green button that says share? Type yes to acknowledge, please. Okay. So what I want you to do is I want you to left click on that green button. Okay, and they're having us rename the file. So let's call it something relevant to the class. In my case, I'm going to call it content creation document real estate 101. And then I'll put a date 11/07/2021. So I'm gonna name that, and then it gives me a prompt to share this document. So when you're ready, type ready in the chat for me, please. Okay. Okay, so this is the important step because we want to make sure everybody has access and the capability to share and collaborate with each other. So in this dialog box, let's see if we can make it bigger. In this dialog box, the second box down here, right, there is a get link. It says restricted. What we want to do is we want to press this blue link that says change to anyone with link. We want to left click on that link. So when you're left click on that link, and it should update to say anyone with link. Once you've done that, type ready in the chat for me, please. Okay, perfect. Thank you all so much. All right, so what we have done is we've made this document able to be shareable across the internet. So we're all going to share documents with each other so we can all have content, right? Because some people have different queries. I saw market crash, I saw real estate, I saw financing, I saw different subjects that could be relevant all to our business, our real estate business. So we're all going to share with each other and collaborate. That's our objective. So once you've done that and it says anyone with link, I just want you to press done. So now our document is shareable, and what we're going to do is we're going to now update the document with the relevant data. And the way we do that is we're going to, inside of our Google Doc, inside of our Google Sheets, we're going to press on File in the upper left. And then there's a three buttons or icons down. It says Import. We're going to press Import, and it's going to walk us through it's going to bring up a window and walk us through some prompts. So when you see this screen that says import file, I want you to leave it here, and I want you to type ready in the chat so we can proceed. I need a few more. Got it. Perfect. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. In this prompt, there is 1, 2, 3. Right here, it says upload. This is what we're going to do. We are going to upload a file. So we're going to left click and press upload. And we're going to go find that file on our computer. So select file from your device. We're going to go find that CSV file, right? In my case, it went straight to my downloads folder. So I'm going to go pick that file, and it's going to upload right into the Google Sheet. Then it's going to give me a prompt. When you get this prompt, I want you to type ready, and we'll talk about how we should get this file uploaded. Stephanie, thank you. You're so helpful. Ready. Perfect. Okay. Next, let's see. I need a couple more readies. Few more readies. Ready. Okay, we're gonna import our file, and what we want to do is um, we're going to click on, it says import location. We're just going to click on the first create new spreadsheet. We're going to make that an option, and the separator type we're going to let it detect automatically. Underneath there is a checkbox. We're going to uncheck that checkbox, and then we're going to press import data. Once you're finished that, type ready in the chat. Okay, perfect. Now, on my screen, right, let me make it a little bit bigger. We're not using the answer to public right now. On my screen, it says file imported successfully, and then there's a blue link next to it. We're going to left click on that blue link so it can open up that file. Okay, so once it opens up that file, we now have our data in a legible format. We have it in a legible format. So we have questions. Remember, we have propositions. It's loading. Prepositions, I'm sorry. We have the verses, but we have all of that data that was originally in our site, the answer to public site, right? Okay, so I messed up a little bit. When it opens up into that new window, what we're going to do is, remember how we shared our document and made it public? We're going to do that one more time. So I made a mistake. Bear with me. We're going to left click on that button in the upper right, and then we're just going to change it to change with it. We're going to hit our second box down here and make it change to anyone with link. Then we're going to do done. Type ready if you're ready to proceed, please. Okay. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, we have all of our content in this Word document. And what we're going to do is, like, most of us should have a general understanding of how spreadsheets work, but they gave us a modifier type. They told us what the modifier is. Suggestion, I don't know what that is. I don't even know what that means. But this is, essentially, this is the questions. These are the questions. Then we got the prepositions down here, but these are all queries that people are searching and inputting into Google. Stephanie, which step are we talking? I don't know what that means. How to make it public to share? Okay, so in the upper right of your Google Doc, there is a green button. It says share, and it says private. What we do is we left click on that. I apologize because I messed up when we made a new document. We left click on that, and then when we get this blue this dialog box, it says down here, it says private. What we want to do is it says restricted. It's going to look like this. What we want to do is we want to turn that to anyone with link. Anyone with link, and then we can just do done. Right? You're welcome. Thank you for speaking up. So these are all of the questions that people are having around real estate, right? These are all of the questions, and we now have this here in a document format, right? So what we can do is we can kind of clean up this spreadsheet. We can look, this is language. It's telling us what the language is. We can click up here. If you click on the D, it'll highlight the entire column. I can delete that. Same thing with region. I don't really need that. I can left click on that. I can delete that. Keyword, you can leave it there or you can delete it, but I'm going to delete it in this instance. And these I'm just going to leave those over there. The important thing that we want over here is these, right? It says suggestion. So these are the questions and the queries that people are typing all over the internet about these specific topics. these are the questions that people have, and what we have to do is we have to come in here and maybe add some punctuation or fix the sentences, make sure it's correct. Maybe some of these subjects aren't relevant, like for example, we're in the US, so real estate UK might not be relevant, could or couldn't. It's going to depend on what our objective is and what we're doing on our market. But what we have here is we have a lot of content. This is over 300 lines of content, and we know at least 80 are questions. So in a way, right, there are 52 weeks in a year, right? So in a way, if we get 50 questions, we can address one question per week around a real estate subject, right? So we have this document, and what we're going to do with this document, now that we have the questions and everything here, is we're going to share it with everyone. We're all going to share with each other, right? So the way we do that, again, we're going to left click this, make sure it's public, and make sure it says anyone on the internet with this link can view. Then we're going to copy this link. So you can left click, it says here, copy link. I'm going to copy that link, and then I'm going to take it over to look, Christian has the right idea. I'm going to take it over to the EXP World chat, and I'm going to share that link in the chat. So now we all have people that are sharing their links. We all have a list of content that we can address around a specific real estate thing, right? We all have content. We all collaborate, right? Even if nobody else put this content in there, this is enough content for over a year, right? This is enough content for over the year. And again, I'm going to tell you how you can collect the slides. I got some content there, but these are all subjects and topics that people are having on the internet about these specific topics, right? And if I go back, like some people, for example, when I've originally typed in, when I did answer the public, I did real estate, but I also did a query where I did Philadelphia real estate, right? And what we would do is there is on your computer, it's multiple ways you can do this. But if this was, I'm going to show you how this works really quickly. So some people might have did their specific market. Like if I did Philadelphia real estate, right? I would need to replace Philadelphia with my specific, let's just say you pull my document and it says Philadelphia. Well, you're in Miami, you want to address Miami real estate. You would find and replace Philadelphia with Miami, right? And the way you do that is what I'm going to do here. Inside of Google, they have a find and replace option. You can, the shortcut to get access to the find and replace option is Control H. Control H will help you find and replace. So you'll do this. You don't need to do this now, but I'm just showing you how you can do this in the future, right? So if my document said Philadelphia real estate, I could find and replace. In this case, I'm going to find real estate. I'm going to find real estate. And something that I missed is you want to highlight the entire column. In this case, I have the column selected. I'm going to find real estate, and I'm going to replace real estate with Philadelphia real estate. So it's just a basic find and replace, and you can do this with any word or any phrase. So Philadelphia real estate, I'm going to find and replace everything that says real estate, and I'm going to replace it all with Philadelphia. Replace all, and now it's specific to my market or specific to my topic, right? So are Philadelphia real estate agents rich instead of generic real estate? Are Philadelphia real estate agents in demand, right? And I can address these specific topics around my particular subject. So when you get the data from everybody else, Alex is going to tell us how we can copy the chat. When you get the data from everybody else, don't be overwhelmed if it's not your market. Simply come in and use that find and replace feature and replace their market with your market. Okay, so we have about 10 minutes left, and we should all have like enough content that we can share. And remember, I know some of us might have lost or we might have had technical issues. I'm about to tell you how you can collect the slides, right? Now, I want feedback, right? And if you provide me some honest, detailed feedback on the presentation, I will send you the slides. Okay, so that's all you have to do to get the slides. Provide me honest and detailed feedback on the presentation. Right, I'm going to share a link in the chat. Share me feedback, and I will send you the slides. Send me an email or share it over to Workplace, and you get access to those slides. Right. So let me pull up the link for you. So this is the link. Please give me some honest feedback. I don't want it to be positive, negative. I want it to be honest. I don't just be completely honest about how this session was. And I will send you the slides. Next, if I go over to, if you're not in EXP, I see that we have some guests. I see the people in green. If you're not in EXP, here's what you can do. You can email me, right? You provide that feedback and then you will email me and I will send you the slides, right? So my contact information is here. This is my phone number, my email address, my website, and my workplace link and my YouTube. So provide me some honest feedback. I will send you the slides. The slides has resources and access to some of the other sessions and some of the other stuff that we do. We are finished. We should be able to take this content, right? Alex is going to tell you how to do it, but we should be able to take this content and address these questions that customers and prospects are having around our particular subject. Right. So Alex, I want to hand it over to you. Can you please tell us how we can copy the take advantage of copy and paste in the chat? Oh, she typed it in. She typed it in. Okay. Does anybody have any questions? Let's see. Let's take questions. Questions.
You not hear me?
Yes, now I hear you. Who has questions? We have 9 minutes left and I'm open to answering any questions. All good, Alex. I'll take it. I'll handle it. No questions? Okay, perfect. So instructions for the chat, right? So again, if you want the slides, all you got to do is leave me an honest, detailed review and I'll send you the slides. Now, how to collect the chat, right? Because you're going to want the chat because we have everybody's links is there and you can get access to their questions that they came up with. This is how you copy the chat. How you copy the chat, I'm going to read Alex, right? To copy the chat, right click anywhere in the negative space within the chat box. So that means the gray space that you see in the chat box, you right click on that. Once you right click on that space, inside of your EXP world, there will be at the very top, it'll say transcript copy. Once you get that flashing on your screen, that means the chat is copied to your keyboard. What you would do next is you would take that text that's copied to your keyboard and you would go paste it over to a Word document, an email, or somewhere that you store notes, and you will have access to all of those links. Oh, I saved somebody some money. Zara was paying agently. Yeah, I like to hear that. I like that. Perfect. Great class. Thank you all. I really appreciate that. Zara, that was I really appreciate that comment. Paying agently now, you don't have to. Yeah, this is a lot of content, and the cool thing is, like, you can do it by yourself, but the power of collaboration, right? We all came together and shared our documents and our resources, and it multiplied, just like our company, exponentially. It exponentially multiplied because we all collaborated and did everything together. So I know that some of it was, I know that, I can't keep everybody pleased. I know some people got lost along the way, but again, if you collect the slides, leave me some detailed feedback. There will be resources, video resources, and link resources in the slide for you to click and access, so you can kind of do this on your own. Also, I shared a link to the YouTube page. I got a lot of stuff there, and I also shared a link to the Facebook group that we're doing that was inspired by our social media mastermind. I'm going to share those links one more time just so you have access to that stuff. But yeah, so I appreciate you all. And my email, yes, I can provide my email, Angie. Give me 1 second. Let me pop these links in there for you, and I'll get that to you. Oh, shoot. Let me see. Copy my YouTube. So there's the YouTube right here. Now, the email address is here. You see the email address is in the middle. Email Jerome. Let me copy it for you. Welcome to the Digital Real Estate Strategy YouTube page. My name is Jerome Lewis, and I'm going to tell you some of the things that So here I'm pasting the email address in the chat. If nobody has any questions, we can end 5 minutes early. If you have questions, even if it's not around this particular subject, feel free to open up. We talk about social media. We do our social media mastermind. We got some stuff there. If anybody has any questions, let me know.
Hey, Jerome, is my mic on now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Oh, good. Okay, cool. This was awesome. Thank you. I definitely have some cool takeaways from this session. So thanks so much for coming out. I wanted to let everyone know for this coming week, we're actually going to run the whole Fast Start series. Just wanted to let y'all know that. We usually run these every 2 weeks. But being that this is the week of EXPCon, we're actually going to do all 14 sessions. So we have 4 tomorrow, I believe 4 the next day. We're going to run from Monday through Thursday. So check the EXP Cloud calendar. This is open to everyone. We'd love to see you there. And then Jerome is going to host a panel on Friday morning, or Eastern time, it'd be afternoon, to do a Q&A and just wrap up of the new Agent Bootcamp session. So be sure and check this out. Let me drop the link to the calendar here. And Jerome says that session is that's 9:30 Pacific time on Friday for the Q&A panel. And here's the link for the calendar for the whole Fast Start series. Cool. Thanks again, Jerome. This was super awesome.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Again, if you want the slides, leave me feedback. Yes, go.
Can you help us save the chat? I see a lot of people are having problems with this.
Yeah. So right click on the chat. Like if you right click the gray space, it'll say chat copied. And then once you get, it'll say transcript copy. Once you get once it says that, you would just take that text over to, actually, I'll copy. So I'll copy. If you are EXP, just message me and
Not working.
I'll drop it. Look, I'm going to create the document right now. So, look, I love Google Sheets. This is what you would do, right? Really quickly. Let's try to get this thing on Google Sheets. So Docs, like, remember how we did the spreadsheet? We would do the same thing. So inside of Google, I'm going to click that and I'm going to find Docs. I'm going to find Google Docs. And then I'm going to do me a new document. I'm going to name my document because they made us name it last time. So content creation. Oh, come on. Creation. Chat box.
Yeah, and I know someone else posted about that too. As soon as you right click in the chat box, and it does need to be in the dark space, not on any of the words, you should get a pop-up right at the top of your world screen that says transcript copied. And that's how you know it worked. If you don't see that, try it again. It usually will do that, and then you'll just have either a Word doc or Google Doc or email, wherever you want to paste it, and then you can paste it there.
All right, here, for those that want the chat and that's saying it's not working, this link should work. You're just going to have to do some work. The links are not highlighted, so you might have to go through and force them to be highlighted. And the way you do that is after every link that you see, you have to press enter. So you have to go visit that link and press enter, and it will highlight just like that. So let me do it again. I'll find a link. There we go, the Facebook group. I'll go after that. I press enter, then it highlights and it makes it clickable. So you're going to have to do that with every link. But this is the chat. So I copied the chat and I shared it in the chat one more time for you. And yeah, just go through and do what you got to do. So you're welcome. Listen, I appreciate you all. I really would appreciate some honest feedback. It helps me improve the classes, improve my presentation. So give me that feedback and I'll get those slides right over to you. Thank you all so much. And Alex, thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Always appreciate these opportunities. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you. This was fun.
All right, team. I love you all. Bye-bye.
Thanks all. Have a good rest of your night.
So I have a quick question about EXPCon. Does anybody know if EXPCon this year is going to be virtual at all?
It's not virtual. It's in person.
Is there going to be any virtual version?
Yeah, we got some virtual stuff going on this week. And like Alex said, we've got the Fast Start Bootcamp going. I'm hosting on Friday to kind of wrap it up. So check the calendar; it'll be a lot there, and also check Workplace. There will be a lot of updates there as well. So we got some virtual stuff, and we got some in-person stuff. Does that help? You're welcome.